Yes. Welcome to another episode of Rolamb Live. I am your host. My name is Rolamb. I got my good friend, my guy Lo, in the building tonight. Lo, how you feeling?
What's good, bro? I'm feeling good, man. How about yourself?
Good, good, good. So glad to have Lo on tonight to talk about comic books, his project Epic, talk about his upcoming Kickstarter. But before we do that, first thing I want to say is thank you all for joining us tonight. Make sure you like this video, share it with somebody, subscribe to the channel. If you want to support the show, there's two ways you could do that. You could check out patreon.com/Bequest Studios. That's the publishing company that I'm building with my boys. And if you want to support me personally, you can hit my Cash App, $Row Lamb. And I think that's everything. I appreciate y'all. And Lo, before we get into your work and everything, my first question that I love to start with is what is inspiring you right now? What are you reading? What are you listening to?
Oh
What's getting
man.
the creative juices going for you?
So what I'm reading right now is majority indie. So I'm reading your book that I love. I already did two recaps on that. I'm reading
Yes,
your
sir.
book,
Yes, sir.
Deadhead. I'm reading Beer and Bullets. I just read Beautiful
Okay.
Thema. I'm just reading Antagonist. I'm reading. What else I got over here? Boy, I'm gonna tell you because I got them. I got them. I read them all the time. Films I'm reading. I'm reading a lot of indies, but on the mainstream side, I am reading Absolute Batman, Absolute Green Lantern, Void Rivals, Transformers, um, that Cyclops, and I'm reading Black Panther, and I'm reading Justice League and Atlanta. I'm more of a DC guy.
Okay.
So
Okay. I can
I
see.
lean
Okay.
more DC and more indie than anything. But yeah, that's kind
Yeah.
of my pile. And I just got ooh wee. I just got I gotta flex it. Oh, you can't even see it. Damn.
Ah.
This the
Ah.
Titans 38. I can't even
Oh, yeah,
I
yeah,
just
yeah,
got
yeah,
it.
yeah.
I
It's the
can't
it's
let me
the
see if it
Sanford
hit the
Green
light.
joint.
Yeah, yes, sir. Ink of
Okay.
Lions,
Okay.
boys. All that who you know, baby.
I
They
love it.
already
I
won
love it.
three. They already won 300 for it online. But I'm gonna hold on. I think I'm gonna get mine graded. I'm gonna send it off to
Yeah.
get it graded, and I'm gonna just hang it up.
Yeah, no, that's smart. That's smart. Real quick, what do you like about DC? Like what
So
makes you
for
gravitate
me,
towards DC?
honestly, it just was the cartoons I grew up watching. I grew up watching
Yeah.
Super Friends and all that. And so even though um, Marvel, Spider Friends, and all that, I didn't have those channels. So
Right, right.
I'm old enough. So I'm old enough to go from the full on UHF, VHF channel experience to the whole cable to the whole. So when I came home, it was Thundercats, Transformers, Super Friends, Voltron, Silverhawks, like that. I didn't really have,
Right,
I saw the Spider Friends like on the weekend. So, and then I watched the Batman TV show and all. So it was just more DC
right.
around me. So I just recognized that more up until I got
Right.
into Milestone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I always gravitated to DC more as well, but I think for me, I like the mythic, like the bigness of the superheroes, if you will. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like,
Yeah. Everybody's, is a grandest thing. But the funny thing is the first series I ever read that got me into writing was X-Men Executioner Song. And I got
okay,
into writing because the store where I lived that they would stock the books, it was inconsistent. So I would try to make up what I thought happened in between. So I would get issue one and then issue four, then nine. You know what I mean? So I got to
right,
make
right,
up, or
right,
I was dead. I was wrong every time, but I had to, So
right.
funnily enough, that's really what started me writing was trying to keep up with
But
execution or something.
you know what they call that now? They call that fan fiction. That's what they call that nowadays.
Yeah,
Fan
it's a
fiction.
whole thing. It's a whole thing now. When I was doing it, I was just trying to figure out what the hell was going on and why my guy couldn't give me consistent comic books at the 7-Eleven.
Right. Right, right, right. Okay. So my next question that I love to ask people, how do you personally define creativity?
I just think it's just flowing in your natural space. Like
Mm,
I think naturally we all got to give. And if you got a creative gift, being able to just sit and be you in your space.
Yeah.
And whatever you come up with, that's what you create. You know, for me,
Yeah.
it's writing, is maybe directing, is I hate that it's called project management now, but you know what I mean? Like these are creative things. If I'm sitting still, I'm still thinking about what's going on. Just in my mind is always saying this plot, that visual, that cut, that
Right.
thing. So it's just
Right.
who you are naturally in your natural state. That's how I define creativity.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So you seem like, based off what you just said, it seems like you are a type of person who has a lot of ideas, right? Your mind is always
Yes.
moving, your mind is working. How do you know, like, when you have an idea, how do you know that, okay, this is the idea I'm gonna move on, right? Or how do you? What's your process like when you're going through that?
I was told that I was a pantser. Technically, I fly
Okay.
by the seat of my pants. I just write and write. So certain things will just be louder to me than others. And
Yeah.
I park ideas all the time. I got notes, I got voice notes, I got paper, shit. I mean, stuff everywhere. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
but
Yeah.
whatever's the loudest one is the one that's speaking to me the most. And that's where I put my focus in. Funny enough, the other ideas always seem to manage to find their way to jump in, and it all end up making sense some kind of way.
Right. Right. Right.
Yeah.
So let's talk. Let's talk about Epic, right? What is Epic about? How did you come up with that idea? Just give me the rundown.
So EPIC is the acronym for Earth Protector in Crisis. I came up with it uh, due to a lapse of, so I was in music heavy and I got out of it, but I still felt the need to create. And I was out with my fiance at the time, and we were at Drawing the Comics. We were downtown Glendale and Drawing the Comics. Shout out to Ken and the team. They were doing, I want to say it was a curbside Comic Con or sidewalk Comic Con. It's some kind of where they had a little mini Comic Con in the streets, and I hadn't been in the comic book store in years. And so
Mm.
I went in, and it was just that smell, you know and I fell back in love doing it. And on the way home, by the time I went home, I had a little mini plot, and I just started building really from there, and it just grew
Wow.
into what it was. Yeah,
And when was that?
this was 2010 or 11.
Oh wow. Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So this is my second run of Epic. I have four. I put out four issues years ago, and so this
Okay.
is more
Yeah.
like, yeah, reissue, re-release. So we just back at it, man.
Yeah. So what's the story about? What's the elevator
So
pitch?
it's about a young archaeology major. Through a series of twists and turns, he releases the power back onto the planet that it hadn't been seen in
Mm.
centuries. It's turning everything from ordinary to extraordinary in almost a blink of an eye. And so everywhere he is technically ground zero. So your
Okay.
planet goes from some ordinary to extraordinary. People, all ages and all walks of life, develop powers.
Yeah.
So it's not like when you hit puberty or nothing. The minute he unleashes his power, random people all over the globe start getting it.
Mm.
And so it just shows his journey because he never asked for it. He's a kid, he's a student. And then we take glimpses at everybody else through their walks of life and how they dealing with it. These
Right.
powers from street level, government, space, like everybody, how they dealing with it. Because it's Monday to Tuesday. There's no
Right.
gradual thing. It is, we wake up the next day and bubbles is floating. You can suddenly throw trucks 100 yards. I mean, it just happens like that.
Right.
And so,
Right.
it's a real time dealing with it.
Yeah. So what is your approach? What is your process like for building that larger world, that larger universe, right? Because I feel like the reason why I'm asking that question, I feel like sometimes, especially in the indie world, we look at like Marvel or we look at DC, we look at these connected universes, and I don't think, if you've never done it before, I don't think people understand the work that goes into
Yes. It
building
is
this type of
it
world. You
it
know what I'm
is
saying?
it's a
So,
massive undertaking. It is,
yeah, yeah.
but for me, I've had some time just writing, web series, movies, TV pitches, things of that nature. So just in writing, when I came back to it, I was like, I want to tell the story on every level. So we know what Chris is going through, and we know what's happening is epic. But what's happening on the street level? What are the
Hmm.
street guys doing? They're not now that they got powers. What is your
Right.
local knucklehead doing now that he can walk up a wall or bust through a brick? What is your average dad or mom doing whose kid can breathe fire now? Like, how do you handle that? So I wanted to, as we focus on him, always cut to, and this is the world now. So you gotta drop bits and pieces. Like it is a massive undertaking to think you're gonna write this linear title. Then you got time to write all of these different books. So what I do is at the end of each issue, I try to give you an ash can of something else somebody's going through. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? So just a spoon feed, just while this is happening, this is happening. So right now we got train wreck. So this is what's happening from a guy who is going from an opportunist to a villain, and you're
Mm.
seeing what's happening at the end of issue one. You'll see him go through something, and then at the end of issue two, you will see it elevate. And then at the end of issue three, this first arc, you'll see him come into who he's going to be as a villain, and
Yeah.
you kind of get to see how just a young dude with powers, broke, trying to get some money, getting it whooped, and then somebody seeing it, and you know what I'm saying? Like you got to see it, bro. And it's,
Yeah.
but most people would start off with all the good people. Like the world ain't all good. So I want to say we got a hero. What's happening on the villain side? Then what's happening on the regular person side? Then what's
Right.
happening? So then, you
Yeah.
know,
So you just did. You mentioned this is a re-release. So you just did issue one, the re-release, right? Was that when did you do that Kickstarter?
we did that in March.
That was March. Okay.
I'm gonna
Okay.
say, I want to say mid mid April, and we were done. I did. I'm sorry,
Okay.
mid February to mid March. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So what was that experience like? What was that first Kickstarter experience like for
It
you?
was nerve wracking, bro, because I've always done these books by myself. Like I've
Right.
always just saved up my money, beg, borrow, steal. You out of here? All right, see you. And then put it out by myself. But what I found this time was, even in these past few years, I would always get a spike in orders. Like every few
Mm.
months, I would get, it'd be $100 there, 150, 60, 75. I'm like, damn, people are still into this. And I would
Right.
get people still asking. So I said, well, let me try the Kickstarter. I paid attention and I asked some guys. I asked bro from Dark Pink. I asked Tyler Force Martin. He did a YouTube just about how to set up your Kickstarter, make it make sense. And then I went, like I said, bro from Dark Pink. And then I asked a few other people, but those are the main two that I kind of looked at and modeled. And I just took bits and pieces and marketing, and then it just talked to the people, and it happened, bro. I was fully funded in 2 weeks, and
Wow.
so from there it was just kind of icing on the cake. We still just stayed hovered right around the goal. So I was just
Yeah.
able. The main thing was to fulfill it, show people that we serious, show people that the books are here, the merch is here, the stickers are here. You know what I mean? The posters. So it was just a journey this go round. Now that I've been through it, it's gonna be a tighter ship and probably a smoother process. But I think you got to go through it first yourself. You know what I mean? To kind of feel those
Yeah.
bumps and bruises to figure out what's the best way going forward.
Yeah. So, the interesting thing about Kickstarter is such a monster, especially the first time you do it. I did it, the first time I did it was 2021, I believe. And we funded in 2 days. We funded in
That's
two
crazy.
days, you know, blew past the goal. It was crazy. Then we did issue two. We still was successful. We funded probably about a week or two. But I was feeling like, yo, I failed. I
You,
didn't
you
I didn't
know,
make it.
yeah, I think, and that's the biggest thing because in my head I'm like, so far I'm probably 18 pages, 16 or 18 pages in. I'll probably be done in the next 2 weeks. And I'm like, by the time we get through this Kickstarter, I'll probably be halfway through issue three. And the fear, I think you're always nervous to think if it's good enough, is the people gonna like it, and then if you don't fund, what do you do?
Right.
But that's the scary part. But I pay for my books out of my pocket, so whether I fund or not, I'm gonna have a book. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's just, I hope we fund to make it easier to distribute, but the book is gonna be done. Like
Right.
I read that before, at least have 70 or 80%. I was like, I'm gonna have 95, 100. So I just, because I don't want to play with nobody money. That was my
Right.
main thing, because you see the horror stories. People been looking for books from creators 2, 3, 4 years. It's crazy. So I didn't want to be that guy. But going through this, I'm thinking, well, shit, if the book is done, you know, that's a success in itself. The
Right.
successful part, everything else from there is just a learning experience and information gathering.
Right. Right. So what do you think, what would you say was the biggest hurdle going from that first, not just the Kickstarter, but just the entire production process? What was your
And
biggest hurdle? Yeah.
the the relaunch, the reissue, going through artists, because
Mm,
there's a lot of BS in the game, bro, and it's still some BS in the game. And I had to weed through a few artists until I got to the couple artists. Same thing with colorists. A lot of folks want the opportunity, and you give it to them, and they can't handle the workload. And
right.
so
Right.
the end user, the consumer, don't give a shit where my book at. They don't care the process.
Right.
They want the book. And so
Right.
a lot of people are not sensitive to artist switches, colorist switches, letterist switches, edit. You know what I mean? So the hurdle is having the right people, making sure they understand the task at hand, and making sure they got a habit of delivering. And that was the main thing. Once I found a tight crew, I was good from there.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think so that happened to me on my issue, on my second issue.
Uh,
My artist for the first 14 pages, she ended up having some health issues.
oh, poor baby.
And so I was like trying to figure out what I was going to do. I was about to start like I didn't want to switch artists. I was about to start all the way over. And my
Nah,
boys was like,
man.
"Nah, like just get the 8 pages done." And so
That's
I
it.
found somebody. We did the last 8 pages. But like you say, I was nervous about how people would respond to it. But I was like, I got to get it done. You know what I'm saying?
The big boys do it. We just
They
seen, you
do.
know what I mean? They just did it with Milestone with the Dakota series. It was four different, you know what I
Yep.
mean? So,
Yep.
and here's the thing, as long as it's dope, if you're going from a dope artist to another dope artist, nobody gonna trip. But if it's just like
Right.
a quality dip that you can see, then it's
Right.
like, what happened? What I'm doing, I go from this to some Charlie Brown looking at, you know what I mean? What's wrong with the
Right.
hands? But I think as long as the quality is consistent, you can
Yeah.
pull it off. Cause I'm doing that right now, issue two. I got two separate artists. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? But I didn't lose a step. I've been through this before. And
Yeah.
so I'm always courting artists. I'm always buying artwork, just getting a feel for who's out there and how they
Building those
interpret my
relationships.
character.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just even if I'm not gonna work, I'm like, I just need a pen up real quick. Just do me a sketch real
Right.
quick. I just want to do some kind
Right.
of business. So if I need to do business,
Right.
he pay. You know what I mean? So
Right.
so
Right.
yeah, it's one of those things. And it's tough to do it on a working budget, but we gotta do what we gotta do.
Yeah. 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 So what can we expect from issue two? What are you excited about for this next issue, this next
I,
campaign?
I think now that we got, I want to say the story out of the way, but now that we got most of the foundational story out of the way, we can really get to the action. We can really get to the world building. We can get to bringing these other characters in and putting them in
Yeah.
play. And I think people will be excited to see how heroes come in, how villains come in, how neutral parties come in, and just how people come in and kind of on the fence. Just because I got a power don't mean I want to be a hero. I might want to just take my ass to work. You know what I mean? It may not always
Right. Right.
be, it may not be cape and tights time for me. I may just want to be a dad. You know what I mean? So you'll see all of that. So in this issue, you'll see characters introduced and what the government's thinking now that these things have happened. So I think it'll be dope. A lot more action and a faster
Yeah.
pace than before. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. So one thing I wanted to ask you about, in one of your interviews, I saw you mention, that you worked in a writer's room on a feature film, and you said like you really liked that experience of writing in the writer's room. What was it that you liked about that experience specifically?
Well, it's a humbling experience, first of all.
Mm.
You take a script that you feel like you did good on, and then you watch it get chopped and shredded and beat and chopped and shredded. And when it comes out the other end, it could be a whole nother thing. And that's what happened
Right.
to me.
Mm.
But it's about having the skin tough enough to say, that's a bad line. This is a terrible plot thing. And you got to hear that. And then you got to watch people that are way better than you at this,
Right.
way
Right.
more
Right.
experienced, take and polish your turd. Ain't no other way to say it. You know what I mean? And make it,
Yeah.
but you gotta have, you gotta be a learner. Like I was in there as a
Right.
learner. You know what I
Right.
mean? And
Right.
I wasn't the youngest. I wasn't the youngest one there, but I was the youngest in experience.
Right.
And so the director trusted me with the script I wrote myself damn near in the corner because I never wrote a movie before. And
Okay.
so it goes through in each time rewrite, I'm watching less and less, but it's still the essence. But you still got to have the understanding it ain't about you.
Right.
Just bigger than you. It's
Right.
60 people on this set. It's 20 people holding lights. It's 10 people doing sound. It's people writing scripts, making dialogue adjustments right on the fly. So it's
Right.
about everything. And you gotta be big. It was dope for me because I was more camera heavy before to know
Mm.
that I don't really want to work the camera no more. I want the writing room. I want to take that beat. And it's like going to the dojo
Yeah.
and the sensei whooping you clean across the floor.
Yeah.
But you
Yeah.
learning in the process. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna wipe this blood off and I'm gonna get back in my stance. I'm gonna take these
Right.
chops and these hip tosses or whatever. So to me, I don't as long as I'm learning, I don't mind. You know what I'm saying? And that's what was real fun about it. And I accepted the challenge.
Yeah. No, I think so. I was in a writer's room. Like that's loud. Can you hear me? Okay, yeah. So I was in a writer's room for a TV series that we worked on. This was a couple years ago now, and it's the same. Like you just said, it's the same thing. But I always want to get better, and that's the thing that I love about being in a writer's room is you can spend a lot of time writing by yourself, but you don't really know, is this good? Like, am I getting better? Am I improving? What do I need to work on? But like you said, when you get in that room,
Yeah,
you
you
start
test
saying,
your
"Oh, I need
metal.
to work on this. I need to work
You
on
test
that."
your
You know what I'm
metal.
saying? Yeah,
hmm
yeah, for
Dialogue.
sure.
I got
All
what I
that.
really got from that was keeping it short and sweet and making sure your dialogue matter. Like you don't need to have a whole diatribe diagonally up the damn page
Yeah,
if you say the right words at the right time. You know what I
right,
mean? And that
right.
that was the one thing I really learned about being in that space was okay, punch up the dialogue, tighten it
Hmm.
up, keep it
Hmm.
simple.
Hmm.
Let like how we let the actors tell a story on screen, let the artwork tell a story on the page.
Exactly,
All you doing
exactly,
is pushing it along, you know.
exactly. And to that point, you might not even need dialogue, right? If you get the images correct, that'll tell
Bro,
the
I,
story by itself. You feel me?
I got it. My issue 12 I want to do with no dialogue. I damn near
Mm,
wanted to just look like a picture book. Like when
yeah,
Superman for Doomsday, I can't remember that issue, and it's just the fight the whole time. Like I
yep,
want to do that, bro. I want to do that. I want that level of intensity. So when you ain't even got to guess, it's like, damn, when you turn in the page, it's like, oh my God, like I want to do that.
yeah,
I think it's
yeah,
issue 12. Yeah.
yeah. So having written, on a feature film and web series and things of that nature, what is it that you love about the comic book medium specifically that you don't really get, in other mediums of storytelling?
This is my first love, bro. So it's
Mm,
so I like being able to contribute in the space that I fell in love with. Like I like movies, it's cool, it's fun, but like this right here, since I was a kid, like being able to walk into the store on the spinner rack and see Static, Icon, Hardware,
mm,
Blood Syndicate, which is my favorite comic book, and then to be able to participate at a level and then be in rooms with these guys and be
Right.
able to shake their hands and talk to them about how that stuff mattered to me. It's just that connection with
Right.
comic books in the indie space I just don't get everywhere else.
Right.
Like I
Right.
can literally read this book by a writer that I love and an artist that I love and catch them out in the streets or catch them at a convention, you know what I mean? Or catch them in a room and be able to sit with them and talk to them about it. And they not in a hurry. They want to talk about it. So I think that's what I get out of this more than anything.
Yeah. Yeah. So you mentioned you used the word contribution, right? And I wonder for you, just from a broadly looking at everything that you're doing, from with Epic, but Dark City, as a whole, like what do you want your company, your brand to be, known for? What do you want it to contribute to the space? You know what I'm saying?
I just want us to I want people to see that we came in with consistency and integrity and we put our best foot forward and we're always thinking about the space. Like we always think about indie comics and the readers. Like and we're not bigger than the space, we're not bigger than our consumers, our fans, our friends, our family. And so I always people want people to know like we always fighting and we always pushing to tell the best stories possible for
Right.
y'all because without the people we not, it don't matter. You know what I mean? If
Right.
nobody's reading your book, what you doing?
Right. Right. No, for sure. Um, and I think sometimes we can lose sight of that piece right there, right? Remembering that we're not bigger than the program. We're not bigger than
At all. You will get humbled fast, bro. Trust me.
absolutely.
I've been
Absolutely.
humbled before. It will happen to you real fast, bro. And the thing about it is, and I think it's all the side talk. You'll get distracted from
Mhm.
all the noise from peers or people pretending to be peers or just counter content creators in the space, people who just going against you just to be against you.
Right.
And all these groups and all this shit, I mean stuff, you'll get caught up
You
into
good. You
that.
can curse. You good.
You get caught up in that. I'm trying to make sure we can get some good clips because my dad was a sailor. He can go there.
uh,
But but my main thing, because you'll get lost in the shuffle
yeah.
and you get caught up trying to argue somebody and try to counter argue a point, and nobody's realizing that the consumers are watching, the fans are watching, the people in the space, and you look stupid. Like
Mhm.
I'm always trying to be conscious of how I'm looking and how I'm presenting, what we doing for the culture and for the
Yeah.
space. Like, is this conversation going to push us forward? Do we have to hash this out in front of people? Is it worth it? You know what I mean? So I'm always conscious of that. I try
Yeah.
to be anyway. I'm human.
Yeah. I was actually talking to a friend, and she is like in a lot of these comic book groups and doing things, and she was asking me why I don't be in the comic book groups. And I was saying, like, I think there needs to be some type of separation between, like, the people who can, like, the fans or the customers who just want to say stuff about books they're reading, and the authors, right? Because
Right,
sometimes if you
right.
if you read something and you feel some type of way and you say something about it, you should be able to say that without the person who wrote it feeling like they got to defend themselves, right? And so I'm
Yeah,
like, I
yeah.
never want to be in those spaces too heavy. I need a little separate, a little buffer. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but the cool thing about our space is you can reach out and touch sometimes. So look, right?
It's a
Because
double edged sword. It's a double
it
edged
is,
sword.
but I watched Kevin, God, I keep on hacking this man name up, Grivio, the guy who created, the brother who created Blue Marble.
Oh
Him
yeah,
go
yeah,
back and
yeah.
forth
Grivo,
was, yeah,
Grivo.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
One, I can't wait to meet him. So one, I can apologize to him about hacking his name up for years, and two, find out how to properly pronounce it, and hopefully he don't hold it against me. But I think it was him versus Blue Marvel versus Superman, I believe, and the fans were going in. He actually jumped in. I thought that was a cool moment. He didn't get indignant or like wow, but it's cool to have that. Like you
Right.
can only have that in this space. There's certain types of creators you never even get to talk to. You know what I mean?
Right.
And even now and then you'll see McFarlane jump down into the mosh pit with the people. Even Lightfield, if I'm saying his name, he'll get his hands dirty every now and then. I think it's a gift and a curse, though. It's a double-edged sword with our groups, though, especially in Black indie comics and our groups. you have to separate uh damn it's gonna be I'm trying to massage way to say this. It's
Yeah.
levels.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And there's certain groups you can be in, certain groups you can't be in, certain
Right.
things you can respond to, and certain things, you know what I mean, you ain't got no business
Right.
responding to. And so you just gotta have the wherewithal to know, does this deserve a response? Does this response push the conversation forward in the proper direction? Or if I'm just going back and forth with some random dude who ain't got nothing to do, he
Right.
trying to get likes and clicks. So he gonna
Right.
just shit on what we doing because he can't do it or she can't do it or they can't. You know what I'm saying? So it
Right.
just
Right.
having a discernment to know when to insert yourself and when to just see it and keep moving.
Yeah. Yeah. And I totally agree. But that's why, like, I don't stay out of all the groups. Like, there's a couple of groups I'm in, but I just think there should be a space where y'all can say whatever y'all want to say, and y'all ain't got to worry about, you
Yeah,
know what I'm
I
saying,
man,
people snapping back or whatever
hey
and all
man,
that. You
listen.
know what I mean?
Some people gonna love it, some people gonna hate it. My thing is
Yeah, for
I'm
sure.
here for all of it and I'm gonna say thank you. I appreciate you buying it. Thank you, and it is what it is. If somebody going that crazy and they going hard, I would say, hey, I'll be outside. Holler at me when you see me if you
Right.
feel, you know what I mean? And then we can have a conversation face to face if it's really burning you up to that point. But
Right.
other than that, man, in our space, you'll see that whenever something's popular, you'll get the counter, the people just countering just the counter.
Right.
No real
Right.
argument, but it's
Right.
just like, oh, look over here, what we doing. So I just let it be.
Yeah, yeah. And I think this speaks to something else that I wanted to ask you about, because I heard you say this in an interview and you said it right before we went live, but just this idea of us being ambassadors for the space. I just think that's such a powerful way to put that. I just wondered if you could speak to that just a little bit. Like,
Yeah,
what
you
does
you
that
got
mean? What does that look like for you?
you got to look at it like this, bro. I'm an ambassador for Scarlet Ranger
Mm,
because I'm speaking to Black indie comics and indie comics,
right.
period. So
Right.
somebody can come to me and ask me about Epic, and I can turn them off so much that they don't want shit to do with us. You see what I'm saying? And they
Right.
won't get to see, well, if you like Epic, you may like Scarlet Ranger. If you like Scarlet Ranger, you may like Ace Blade. You may like Fumes. You may like Dance. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
I
Right.
could destroy all of that by being a shitty person.
Right.
Being in too much of a rush, not taking
Right.
time, not giving this person 5 or 6 seconds, not letting them to get their question off and say, that's a dumbass question.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like you have to think about it like this. Like I'm not in no competition with none of y'all. When you see people long boxes, it's 30, 40, 50 books in there. I don't got to fight you. Please buy Scarlet Rain. I got three of them. I
Right.
got three of your, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I
Yeah.
want them to hit your link and search yours and say, hey, if you like this, you may like Impound.
Right.
If you like Impound, you might like FEMA. If
Right.
you like
Right. Right.
FEMA, you might like Beer and Bullets. You might
Right.
like Epic. You see what I'm
Right.
saying? And a lot
Right.
of people's intro to the indie space is us.
Right.
So you have to have your ambassador hat on all the time. You don't get to be off if somebody said the minute you hear comics, whatever you're going through, it should go clean. We welcome it. Hey, that's a
Okay.
great question.
Right.
My name Lo, Dark City Comics, multimedia, my company, Epic. What question you got about indie comics?
Right.
Even if you think it's a stupid ass question, you got to answer with enough enthusiasm to pull them in because you don't know. That could
Right.
be a book, a merch, a poster, hat, or a good comment on a bulletin board somewhere that sends somebody to you. It ain't always got to be a direct sale. It could be an
Right.
indirect sale. I had a dude from a shoe convention send somebody to us from a sneaker con
Wow.
because of how we carried ourselves at the sneaker con and how we talk to people and everything like that. So you always got to be speaking if you genuine about the space. And
Right.
that's how you're gonna
Right.
tell who's really here to be here to help push everybody. So I want
Right.
everybody to win. I want to
Right.
be that long box that got 30, 40. I want two of yours in there, two of mine in there, two of 615s in there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
want all of us in there.
Yeah.
So you got to be speaking good on the culture. You know what I'm saying? That's what I
Yeah.
believe.
Yeah. So you mentioned you was at a sneaker con. You was tabling at a sneaker con?
Yeah, bro. Listen, bro. So I'm from an era where we sold music out of trunk of our car.
Right.
Anywhere was a store.
Right.
Anywhere people was set up shop. And so I don't know what gave us, somebody just gave me the opportunity. And
Mhm.
me and my artist at the time, Chuck, and we hired a model and everything, bro. And we put a Dark City comic shirt on her little fine ass, and we ain't sell no books. Not a nail one, you hear me? But but I had fun not selling them. It was cool watching people walk and kind of, they're there for sneakers. They're not here for comic books.
Right. Right.
But
Right.
the funny thing is, we did a music convention and sold out the table. Only thing
Mm.
left was the cloth and the chairs. So it wasn't, I was like, if it'll work here, it may work here. They came for music, they left with comics. They came for sneakers and they left with sneakers. It wouldn't. But like I said, people saw us and somebody reached out to me. Hey, my man said he saw you over here and y'all do
Right.
comics and where can I
Right.
get him? You know what I mean? That sale didn't make up for what we lost, but
Right.
I could have been bitter that nobody was at my table. I could have had my back turned. I could have had my head down. I could have been on some bullshit. You feel me? And he wouldn't have even been able to tell that story about it. So,
Right.
you know, yeah, we ain't
Yeah.
sell
No.
nothing.
No. That's a interesting. That's something that I always think about. Is like, I wonder how, if we go to spaces that we not actually supposed to be at, how we would do. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's interesting you was at a sneaker con, because
Dude, I had
I'm gonna
no
try that.
business there.
I'm actually gonna try it.
But I think now it'll be better because now pop culture is merging a lot of things.
Right.
Before
Right.
it was hella separate. You had
Okay.
sneaker con, you had, but
Right.
now all of these things are blending because
Right.
now you got Spider-Man J's and they join X-Men on your ones. And you know what I'm saying? So you
Right.
can kind of, if you do
You
it
can finesse
right,
it. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, like I get some chucks and run epic across the chucks and throw them in the ice box and spin them,
Right.
do a
Right.
raffle. I wasn't thinking then because I didn't know what to expect. Now,
Right.
if I go, oh, we on. You know what I'm
We know.
saying?
Right. Right.
Yeah, I
Right.
know now. But one thing about me and cons in general, I don't want to. I don't. You see how I try to be all political?
I don't want to say this.
Ah, I'd rather not be at a table. That's the best way I can say it. So
Yeah.
when I went to San Diego Comic Con, I had like 250 books, and I ain't sit my ass down. I
Yeah.
went to people and I gave these books away, and I wanted, I don't want you come looking for me. I don't want to be in the corner A36, B12 by slot this. I'm
Right.
outside. I want to
Right.
touch the people. And there's people who there who can't even afford to get into some of these places. They just on the sidewalk vibing. I want to
Yeah.
go out there with them too. Because they
Yeah.
might not have $60 to get in for a weekend pass, but they might got $5, $10 for a book. Or
Yeah.
take this book and take a picture, and they may, you know what I mean? So
Right.
I'd rather touch the people. I think it's folks who do phenomenal at tables and they got it to a science, but my brain, I can't sit still too long. Like this right here is killing me because I'm a pacer. So I'm usually up and I'm walking and I'm moving around. So I
Right.
can't sit. Like if I do a con, I would pay somebody to sit and take
Mm.
orders or whatever you do there. And I'm
Right.
outside, bro. Like
Right. Right. Right.
I gotta walk the place. I need to see
Yeah.
the whole lay of the land.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I feel that. And I've been thinking a lot about that. I actually, so I got these, this is not the actual thing, but I got this artwork right here, right? And I
Right.
got printed on the back like a QR code that
Yes,
that
sir.
has like a free, it'll get you a free download of issue one.
Absolutely.
And when football season start, I'm gonna be right out there, boom,
And,
pitching the
and this
book, passing, handing them out.
and this what you
But
do too. Put the QR code embedded in the design and throw it on the shirt. Have
oh,
somebody
I didn't even
scan
think about
and have
that.
somebody
Yeah,
scan your shirt.
I
That
didn't
way
even
you
think about
always on. Have somebody scan your shirt. Because my
that.
next run, the shirt's gonna have the QR code in the design. Because they can hit your shirt and it'll pop right up. Because some people you can't hand nothing to. Oh, I'm so okay. I'm fine. Listen, let me see your phone. Just scan the shirt. Shorty, it'll pop right up.
Right, right. No, that's a
You can't
man.
run.
I
You
wrote
can't
that
run from
down.
the
I'm
hustle.
taking
Yeah,
that.
you
I'm
can.
taking that
Because
to the bank.
we cannot grow if we don't share information.
Yeah, yeah. No,
You
that's
know what I'm
love.
saying?
That's love for real.
We can't grow if we don't share information. So absolutely, bro. Like you, QR codes gonna always work because they're quick scans, and people always got their phone in their hand.
Yeah,
You know what
yeah,
I'm saying? And
yeah,
then if you at a con and they got a merch bag, you can always slide a card in there, and they'll get to it when they get to it. So you
Right.
can't go wrong. You can scan my shirt, or I'm gonna leave you this card. These are your A and B. You're not getting
Right.
away from me. You're gonna scan or you're gonna take this card. You know
Right.
what I'm
Right.
saying? You
Yeah,
ain't even
for sure.
gotta I slide it in the bag. You get around to it when you get around to it. So yeah, you can't go no you
For
can't
sure.
go wrong with that. Shit, where my card at? I can't even show you because of my shit, but I got one too. And
Yeah.
yeah,
Word. Word.
you know what I'm saying? So it's
Word.
absolutely, you know what I'm saying? It absolutely helps.
Yeah. 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 So, what are you so far? What are you proud of? What are you most proud of? Um, Maybe like an accomplishment or just whatever from this journey so far. What are you most proud
I,
of?
I think it's cool seeing people who haven't been into comics in a long time excited about comics and
Mm,
having like your book be a part of that. Like
mm,
I'm selling books to wives who husbands drag them to Marvel movies, and so they think this would be a cool thing, and they get the book, and it's a cool thing because the husband loves it. So now, when's issue two coming? I need this. I need this. So it's cool because I'm in a demographic. You got to think about it. This is stuff from our era, and so it's cool to see people reignited in a late mid to late 30s, 40s, and
right.
50s, excited about stuff they used to be excited about as a kid. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So to be a part of
Yeah.
that, I think is something to be proud of, and to be a part of the youth getting into it. Because all of that
Yeah.
they do is manga, if I'm saying it right, and anime, because I don't really watch most of it. But to see them turn back into this, I did my
Right.
time, bro. I did my
Yeah.
time. Ninja Scroll, Fist of the North Star, Kira, Ghost in the Shell. I
Nah,
did
you
my
with it.
time,
You
bro.
with it. Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I did my time. But it's cool to see the youngsters get into it. So I like this merging of cultures and art styles. I think it's dope.
Yeah, for sure. So, issue two's Kickstarter's coming up September, right?
Yeah, I think the 21st. I may push it a week. I don't know, but I'm feeling good about the 21st though. We're getting good
Okay. Okay.
feedback. Yeah, so I think it's gonna be the 21st.
Okay, so that's on the way. If you're watching, that link is in the description of the video or the show notes, whatever you want to call it. So you can definitely head over to the pre-launch page and make sure that you
Yes, please.
sign up to get notified when that launches. So that's up next. Where do you see your? Oh, go ahead. What you gonna say?
None.
Oh, where do you see yourself? Where do you see your company in the next 5, 10 years?
In the perfect world, um, I should be back doing a web series involving Dark City Comics characters. I've already
Word.
started treatment for it. I got an idea that is half comic book, half web series. So you get issue one, episode two, issue three, episode four, like that, and
Oh,
it's called Catching. And so I started with
multimedia on them.
yeah, because this is it's a street level thing. It's almost like Supercell meets The Wire. You know what I'm saying? And so I want to tell that story void of too much superhero involvement and sprinkle just enough so you in the same universe, but it's like a real gritty street level
Yeah.
tale of a crew with powers that don't care nothing about world domination. They just want the streets. And
Right.
so
Right.
I want to be able to do comic books and do it like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
No, that's
yeah,
dope. That's dope.
yeah. So that's my most favorite thing coming.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Okay.
animated epic, of course, because
Oh
I'm seeing
yeah. That.
everybody do. Yeah. I'm seeing the indies go crazy with the animated shorts. And I'm about to throw my hat in the ring, bro. I'm about to drop my hat in the ring, and that shit is expensive.
It is
It
expensive.
ain't it's not a poor man's pursuit. I promise you that. But they having so much fun. I gotta at least do a 10-second joint. I don't care
Yeah. You
what
got
it
to
is.
figure it out. You
Yeah,
got to figure it out. Sometimes people come. When I'm at a con, they'll come to the table and they'll say, do you want this to be a movie? You want Scarlet Ranger to be a movie? And it's like, I do want it to be a movie. I would love to do that. But also, I love the medium of comic books, right? So
yeah,
when I started writing this and I'm writing this for this medium, but I write novels, I write screenplays. So if I have an idea for a movie, I'm gonna write a
bro,
movie. You know what I'm saying?
bro. Scarlet Ranger would be so dope in the movie space because this is a smart kid. My only suggestion,
Yeah, yeah. Talk to me.
you
Talk
got
to
to
me.
give him some hands, bro. He
He
got
got
whooped
it.
so bad in issue two. I thought that did I say something to you about it?
You did.
I
You
was
made a
about to throw a
post. You
punch.
made a post.
Yes, I was about to throw a punch at the damn page. I was like, if you hit this man like this again and beat his mask off, I was like, all right, nah, we not doing it. So I'm going into issue three after everything that happened after this massive ass. Is this a female robot? I can't. The
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Armor. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes, bro. She. I'm scared of her already. So I'm like, damn, he can't fight, right? Or something is going on. But I like his guts because he like, fuck it. I got to take this mantle because nobody else is. Too much stuff's happening. Granddad already left enough clues for me to know that if dad ain't gonna do it, I gotta do it.
Right.
And he all heart at this point, and you can't do nothing but
He
hey,
all hard.
you can get a lot. You can get a lot done with heart, bro. You can't teach heart. You can't.
Right.
You can teach a jab. You can teach uppercut. You can't teach heart. And so the young ain't got heart, and then he's
Right.
smart. And
Right.
so I'm like, all right, but issue three, I need to see him win the fight, bro. Cause
Well,
cause I'm looking at all the gadgets. I'm like, he got all the tech. The boy, cause I just and then who you had in fighting, that just looked like a mean ass villain for anybody to fight.
yeah,
Just
yeah,
just just to open your superhero day. This is your second day on the job,
yeah.
and you
Right.
gotta fight. That's who you gotta fight. And that was unfair on your part too. I think that's you you need to go some time out as a writer and be nicer to your heroes because I'm reading. Sorry, I'm into. You can see I'm into
No,
this
you
shit.
good. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
No, I
like all
appreciate
y'all
it.
stuff. I read all y'all shit and I look at it like if this is a movie and I'm looking at it from just a fan standpoint. I'm like, man, I like this youngin. And then I see him get walked all the first 4 pages and he barely escaped. I'm like, damn. And then the lady who saved him, we'll talk about it later,
Yeah,
man.
we're talking.
Yeah, because I'm mad and I'm excited and I'm mad at you because you got him whooped. The mask came off. I was like, damn, we didn't
Yeah,
whoop
that
that
was
boy
crazy.
mask off. That was,
That was
but
crazy.
it's, but it had to happen though. It had to happen though. So all right,
Yeah,
it had to
yeah.
happen.
Look,
But yeah, I love this show.
it's gonna turn around for him. It's gonna turn. He got to learn a few things. You know what I'm saying? Got to take some
Yeah,
bumps, some
but
bruises. He gonna
but
figure it out.
I say that to say this. That would be a hell of a movie or a hell of a Netflix series because you can get 6 of those off, 7 of those off. But young
Yeah.
and about 16 or 17, you know what I mean?
Right.
Not grown man yet, but still big enough to probably punch somebody and knock somebody out with a
Right.
properly placed jab. You feel what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
Like
Right.
big
Right.
enough to do some grown man damage, and then he's smart. So I think it would be dope. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
not,
Yeah.
and it'll give you that young, hip static Spider-Man vibe
Right.
without because he's not a copy of them at all, but it's that same vein. I can see them
Right.
three hanging out. You know what I'm saying?
Right. 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 For sure. For
Young,
sure.
smart, hip kids that ain't too street edgy, but they regular kids who got
Right.
a lot of shit going on. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
Right. Right.
yeah, I just I think it's dope.
Yeah. No, I appreciate it. I appreciate the feedback. I appreciate that for sure, man. Um. So the last thing that I do, this segment is called the one. These are like they're supposed to be like rapid fire questions, but nobody ever, just take however long you want to take, you take. You know what I'm saying? What's one book or comic book you think everyone should read?
Oh, static. OG static.
Static.
The
OG static.
OG
Okay, okay, okay.
static milestones first run.
Okay.
It is a coming of age story alongside a coming of age superhero story. Like
Right.
he's just a smart kid from a rough area, but he not a rough kid. And they exist. You know what I'm saying? You could be in the hood and you see the nerd kid, they just let do him. They know he
Right.
not street, and he's that. And then the
Right.
big bang happens. And then he's
Mhm.
static. So
Right.
now he has to wrestle with, you know what I mean? Good dad, he got good morals and principles. So now it becomes a moral issue. Like, damn, I got these powers. I gotta do something.
Right. Right.
You
Right.
feel me? And
Right.
then the bang babies happening all around him. So he got to deal with it anyway.
Right. Right.
So it's one of those things when you get to see him grow up, you get to see how the smart kid deals with dilemma, unfair shit up against him. I mean, he got to fight his first fight. Hot Streak, man, beat the brakes off of him, knotting him up. He slid off the playground,
I
hit him
gotta
with a
go back and read
1,000
this.
punches. Bro, Hot Streak whooped the shit out of Static. And I remember being pissed off, like, damn, because I grew up like electrical powers are one of my favorites. I grew up
Mm,
Black Vulcan and Black Lightning. You know what I
Black
mean?
Lightning.
I,
Yeah,
I did
yeah,
not like I did not like Cyborg until David Walker wrote him properly. And
yeah. Mm,
so when to see Static doing all this, and man, Hot Streak slid off, but that just goes to show you that learning curve. He didn't know how to fight. He
right,
wasn't a fighter. He was a kid with
right,
powers, and he had the heart to try to make a difference. You
right.
see what I'm saying? But it's definitely like that's the main. If you want to start somewhere as a writer, because you get lost, you get a little bit of love. You got a girl, they got a whole joint where he loses virginity. It's a whole thing.
Oh
It is like the
wow.
Wonder Years in the black neighborhood
the, Wo-
with
the
so
Wonder
much
Years
shit
with
going on.
superpowers.
Yeah, because the blood syndicate is there. You got Icon. Like he is literally, even though everybody in their own right is at the center of what they're going through, everybody seems to interact with Static at some point. So
Right.
you get the whole gamut of the milestone. So I think that's a dope place to start. And for anybody, that OG Static run was chef's kiss, bro. Artwork,
Yeah.
everything they was doing was perfect.
I gotta try to find that. What's one piece of advice you would give your younger self?
Don't stop. I think comics comic creation takes so many bits and pieces and moving parts that you'll hit certain roadblocks and it'll just knock the wind out you. And sometimes you'll feel like all hope is lost. Like I was at a point where bro, this would be a conversation for off the camera, but let's just say we were there. Like we was at
Mm,
this, we were there. We were there where you could be as a creator, as a comic, as a book, and a few decisions from different parts, we're not there no more. And
mm,
I was in the spot, bro. I was like, damn, like we was here, bro. Like we was here. And I had to start all over. And what I did, I just had my son. And so I just been a dad, bro. I just left and was a dad for like
wow.
10 years. You know what I mean? Every now and then I do some work. But I would have kept on going, but I just didn't have the knowledge. I didn't have the knowledge and the foundation. I was out here on the island. I had all this shit I learned. Everything I know about comics, I learned from the two Brandon's podcasts. And then I started just following Joe Illidge
Mm,
and whatever Michael Davidson said. And I just start, you know what I'm saying? I didn't have nobody. So I mentored myself vicariously through their podcasts and their posts and their rants and their interviews. You know what I mean? Like it's so much.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
Michael Davidson will rant and cuss your ass out. And he don't even be talking to you, but there's so much knowledge in there. You're gonna get so much. Same thing with Joe. Same thing with Brandon Thomas, Brandon Easton. They're gonna give you so much knowledge. And so but I was just deflated. You know what I'm saying? Because it takes so much. If I could do it by myself, I probably would have still stayed the course. But you need an artist, you need an inker, a color, a letter. You know what I'm saying? So I just fell back. But the people brought me back, and I'm glad they did.
Yeah. When you say Brandon Thomas, I
Brandon,
think I had a huh?
yeah,
Yeah, I think I had a conversation with Brandon Thomas early on in my when I started writing comic books on Twitter or something. And he just gave
bro,
me some advice. And I'm like, you didn't even have to do this for real.
bro, listen to me. It was a podcast called the Two Brandons Podcast, and I listened to that faithfully every time they dropped something because they were in the space and they were doing it simultaneously on the indie level and the major level. They both had Marvel and DC credits and TV and movie and all that. So when these people are talking, you don't talk over them. You shut up and you grab a seat.
Right.
Class is in session. And then when they had Joe on it, blew my mind. And then they were going to be at Ekbach. I'm going back years. Then I went to Ekbach and I met all the milestones guys. From there, and sitting in the room with all that knowledge, bro, you got to just be humble and soak it up. Like you're not gonna get bad advice from somebody who's done it before at your level and succeeded if they care about you. You know what I'm saying? So
Now
and
what?
I can
No,
imagine.
what
Go
is
ahead.
Ekbach? What's Ekbach?
I don't want to screw up the acronym. East Coast Black Age of Comics Convention. I want to say. So it's held in Philly. At this time, I was in Maryland. Philly ain't nothing but an hour and a half, 2 hours. And so they did the whole thing. Ellis was there, Cross, Michelin S. I want to say N. Stephen Harris, and I may be missing somebody. So I hate when I do that. But I got the picture of all the people that were there. I mean, it was a ton of people, but they had a panel, and so I drove all the way up there just to hear anything they had to say. And I'm like, and I drove all the way to San Diego from Arizona just to hear. I was
Wow.
so into it because I didn't know. And so if the people who know are giving out information, that's where your ass want to be at. So
Right.
I went straight to I was like, I'm not gonna listen to nobody who don't know if the person that know talking. So I went over there with them. But yeah, Xbox in Philly, they've been doing it for years.
They still doing it.
Yeah, they said, hey, you got bass happening out there in October. You going?
Oh, for sure. Come on, for
Man,
sure.
I'm mad. I may or may
Greg,
not be
Greg
able to
is my
make it.
guy. Greg is my guy. You know Greg
Bro,
Burnham?
I love Tuskegee Airs, bro.
Yeah.
It
Oh
wasn't
yeah.
nothing like when the lady jumped in the jet and told, "Hey, scoot over, son, I got this," and the damn jet stood up to a robot. Oh my god! I was like, "Come on, what else you gonna do? What
What
else you
else you
gonna
gonna do?
do?" Can you imagine thinking you a hot shit pilot this whole time and your boss like scoot over? You don't know what's
You
going
don't
on.
even
Hit
know
the
what you
button.
don't know what you
Yeah,
doing,
you
bro.
don't really know what's under this hood, son. You ain't used the Hellcat key at all. You just been driving the Challenger. You ain't used the rig. Man, that damn jet stood up. I did a conference in the car about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's dope, man. And typically with my son, cause he goes to like an accelerated learning school, you think he's smart. Um, so I'm glad he gone. He just was shoving his test scores, how he's the highest, one of the smartest kids in the state, which is fine. He
Okay.
should be proud.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. I'm joking. I definitely celebrate the kid,
Yeah, for
but
sure. For
I have
sure.
to set my cons up to his vacation. So in fall we got a vacation. So if I can get that time off and I can sneak to Atlanta, I definitely want to go because I want to be at the first one. I think that main one. And then did you go to BlurCon earlier this year?
I did not go to BlurCon earlier this year. I did
Oh,
not.
you missed it. I was parking lot pimping at first, and then because I just wanted to be there, I just showed up, and then one of my homies, I was able to buy a pass. And funny thing, the one panel I wanted to get to, I couldn't get to, but it was some dope talent there, bro. There's
Yeah.
some dope talent,
Bro, you
yeah.
need to be at Heroes Con in
With
Charlotte.
that,
Charlotte, North Carolina.
I got to set up my calendar for next year because, for one, this is expensive, right? Every time you get in the plane, it's $1,000, right?
Yes.
Every
That's
time
it.
you get in the hotel, even the crappy hotel, if they know something's going on, $200. You can't even escape. If they know something's in
Right.
town,
Right.
they triple the price. Hole in
Right.
the wall, rats and roaches, 200 a night, two
Right.
beds. It is what it is. So I try to be strategic. I want to make sure I get to the ones that focus on us. Like I always want to go to BlurCon. Once base start, if I don't make this one, I always want to go. Out here, they started one EBCon, and I think this is more focused on manga, but it's still a space for dope artists. We went to the first one. Anthony Piper was there, and I connected with him and got a cover for him for issue 2. So actually, there'll
I
be an
saw that.
Anthony Piper, yeah,
That's tough.
variant for Epic.
That's
Yeah,
tough.
he's cold, bro. I've been a fan though. He's one of my bucket lists. Like I wanted one from him, one from Kanan, one from Cross, one from Kyrie, one from Lashley, one from Cowan. So
Yeah.
of those, I have a Cross, Kane and White, and I got Anthony Piper.
That's tough.
So I need a Randolph, Lashley, and a Cohen. I'll be happy. I'll
Yeah.
be happy. You know what I mean? Amongst all the new talent, but these are like I just you can't go wrong with them. So
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
you know I got
So
Chris Cross on a he was doing something for his wedding and he just needed a few extra. He threw a special
uh
out there. I was like, bro, who do I have to beg, borrow, and steal from to
right.
get this done? And he crushed it. One of my favorite covers for Epic.
Yeah, no, that's dope. This is what I would say about Heroes. Heroes is not necessarily like a black con, but it's a
Mm-hmm.
book con. So like, a
That's
lot of these
dope.
cons, they got a bunch of other stuff. They got the games,
Mm-hmm.
they got the, all the stuff. It's just comic books at this joint.
Oh,
Just
that's
comic
dope.
books. And so it's
Yeah.
just a great, we sold so many books this past. There's so many people there. Like, definitely look into Heroes, bro. Definitely look
Yeah,
into Heroes.
and here's the thing, and it don't gotta be just a black con for me. I make Epic for everybody who want to read it.
Yeah, yeah, for sure, for
I
sure.
just understand the importance of showing up for your space. You know what I'm
Absolutely.
saying?
Yeah, for sure.
So I always because we go to Fan Fusion out here. It used to be Arizona Comic Con, and then we go to the Tucson Comic Con, and then there's a few other ones that I go to out here as well. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? But I just always the experience I had at BlurCon, like I want to do that all the time. Like
yeah,
it's 2 days, 24 hour, 40 hour, nonstop
yeah,
comics, music, cosplay,
yeah.
bro,
No,
paneling.
it was
It
beautiful. It was beautiful.
man, the whole
Yeah.
hotel.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
I was there like 2 or 3 years ago. I did a panel. And like you said,
Yeah.
just seeing it, it's like, yo, like, this is it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
this is
like
it.
I'm like, this the only one I really need to go to. You know what I'm
This is
saying?
it.
But
Yeah.
yeah, so it's just one of those things to see us flourish in a safe space. I just so that's why I do. But yeah, man, Epic's for everybody, dude. I got
Yeah.
all
Absolutely. For
readers
sure.
from all walks.
For sure. All right. Two more questions. What's one thing you would change about your creative journey?
Um, Probably being more organized. Like I'm a
Yeah.
messy creator. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I have shit
Yeah.
everywhere. If I showed you my workspace, it makes perfect sense to me.
Right. You get it.
But
Yeah. As long as
yeah,
you get it.
but a person with OCD would faint.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think I could, but that's where having a team comes in. Like you
Right.
need somebody like that.
Right.
I'm not like that.
Right. Right. Right.
Like the end result, you would think that I'm like that, but the journey to get to the end
How we
result,
got there? No,
oh my God, it's yeah, it's a snake road. But yeah,
no I
I
feel it.
could stand to be more organized.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then my last question was one thing that you want everyone who hears this or sees this to take away from this conversation.
That that we exist, bro. Like your indie creators exist, and that um you don't have to read us instead of the mainstream. You can read us alongside. You can read us in between your favorite titles. We're not here to take nobody place or to fight you about who you like and who you don't like. We just want to add some flavor.
Yeah,
We just want to add some more, we just want to add some options in. I think now the creators have been at it long enough to where you can see the quality is there. So you can get dope ass quality. So yeah, just give us a shot, man. Give us a try. Come look. Come shop with us.
absolutely. Speaking of giving us a shot, make sure you check out Lowe's Kickstarter page, his pre-launch page. It's going to be launching probably sometime in September, like he said. So
We set up for
definitely
the 21st.
21st, hit that
Mm-hmm.
button so you can get notified as soon as it drops, as soon as it launches. Lo, thank you so much for being here tonight. I appreciate you, brother. I've
I
been
appreciate
seeing
you
you
having
from
me.
afar and you were inspiration, man. So I appreciate everything that you're doing
Hey,
and
I was
everything that you bring
inspired,
into the
man.
community, bro, for sure.
Hey, I appreciate you putting out quality work that I enjoy and I was motivated as a reader. Like there wasn't even no ploy to get over here to be nothing. I was a fan. And then I saw this. I was like, okay, he doing his thing. But I was a Scarlet Ranger. If I bought the first one, then I turned around and bought the second one, and I had my lady buy the third one for me. I said, look, I need you to get this for me. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So yeah, so I appreciate you standing tall in the space and representing it well.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate you. And to everybody who watched and kicked it with us, thank y'all for being here. Again, make sure y'all like this, subscribe to the channel, share this with somebody. and I will see you all soon. As always, I love you. I'll talk to you soon. Peace. And